All right, well, after doing a lot of thinking, this is the path I'm going to use to cut down that cylinder. And the reason I'm going with this is, one, it'll probably work pretty well. But two, I also need this for my deck project because I'm putting in aluminum railing, and this is really the only clean way to cut it easily, and I have a lot of posts to cut. So this is the cheapo Harbor Freight. I think it was, excuse me, Doc, it was $260. They don't do coupons on this anymore. I have a buddy that works at Harbor Freight, and he said they're trying to go legit now, so they're increasing the quality on some of their tools. Hopefully this is one of them. So I know the older versions of this had a really flimsy stand, but now this one, I saw it in the store. The stand is kind of short, so it's going to be hard to use. But anyway, if you've ever bought a Harbor Freight thing like this, you'll know it comes in about 15,000 pieces that you have to assemble. So luckily for us, we have a little trick to assemble these very quickly. And there we have it. I got to hand it to Harbor Freight on this because I've put together a lot of cheap, crappy tools in my life, but the instructions in this take the cake. They were completely unusable. They were not even, whatever they told you to do was not accurate. I mean, it's like someone else, I don't know if it's from another different model or what, but it took me about 2 hours to do this, which is ridiculous. I mean, I put together, I don't have the cement mixer in here. That was pretty bad, but this was really bad. I mean, it was, it's not even, I can't even describe how inaccurate. I was checking the instructions to see if I was missing pages. Anyway, I got it together. A lot of people were complaining about the blade that comes with it, but I did a test cut on this cylinder here just to see how fast it would cut through it. And it was about a minute, and the cut's pretty good. There's just a little burr at the end where it stopped. So I think it's going to work great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the let me grab I'm going to put the cylinder in like this, straight up, and then with the sides coming out, and then this will just lower. So the criticisms online about this thing having a feed problem are accurate. This feed control thing does not work. So I'll have to put some weights on here just to get a good, probably 3-4 pounds right here just to pull it down onto the thing, because you don't want it to have it just floating on there or else it'll wear the blade out. Anyway, probably not going to do that tonight. I think tonight I'm going to take this boom cylinder out and see if I can get it replaced tonight. And then tomorrow I think a lot of hoses and fittings come, and I think on Monday the final cylinder that I'm missing comes, and then I'll have all the parts needed. We'll see when the seat comes in, the seat and then the knobs, but everything's ordered. We're about done with this thing. I'm pretty happy to be done with it. cylinders rebuilt. Boom and stick. This is garbage. And we're about done here. So, when the new cylinders come in, or the new cylinder, I guess I already have two of the new ones, we'll get those set up. Still need to unfreeze those fittings for these, but this one's a good one, that one's a good one, so I think we're about done here. I got my my new hoses. These are custom hoses. They're only about 15-20 bucks each. Got myself some fittings. These are the fittings for the new cylinders. Those, some more of those. So, do a little test fit. So on the new cylinder, these are straight fittings. Yep, and then these hoses. Oh, sorry, it has a fitting on it. Alright, I didn't screw it up. Great. Alright, so today I'm going to cut these down and hopefully get these two mounted. Oh, and I'll put in this, I believe this is the replacement one, isn't it? Yeah, I'll put this replacement that was in for the one that was blown out. Well, we have one more problem here. So these are these two hoses are for the boom cylinder, and I was using an impact to get these because these were kind of frozen on here. So this one came off without too much drama. I'll probably order a new fitting because on this one the fitting was frozen. So if you look at the threads on that, they're toasted. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to order a new hose, and you know, it's only gonna be 20 bucks or something, not a big deal, but it's just, you know, a little delay. And then I'll order two fittings to replace those. And since I'm here, I'll inspect the hoses a little bit closer, especially coming down here, make sure there's no other issues. But yeah, it's a bummer, but what are you gonna do? Alright, well, I was taking this boom line off here, and I got it to here, and this thing is completely frozen to this swivel. So, instead of messing with it anymore, it's already rounded off pretty bad. I'm just going to take my hacksaw, cut it off right here. I measured this distance, and I believe there's enough space to be able to swing the whole thing off without removing these, hopefully. So, this looks like an orb fitting. Yep. Little spring in there. So I should be able to find this. This is just a it's an orb on one side, 90 degree. I'm missing a part here, am I? There they go. Ooh, that part's hot. So it's a swivel orb. Alright. Set me back a couple bucks. So I just gotta measure this line that I can order. So I need to order two of these fittings, and then whatever that is, and then the hose, and I'll be good to go. Alright, well, we got two more arrivals today. We got the shift knobs. These were $1 each, and they're actually a decent fit. So that's one of the originals. This one fits just fine. Doesn't quite go over the last thread here, but who cares? A little bit smaller than the originals, but at least they're not broken in half and split. So we'll just take that off. See if I can. I won't try to throw that. And put those on. There we go. It's about the same size as this one, which I'm used to. And we got the new bucket cylinder in. So I'm going to wrap this and see if it's going to fit. I'm sure it won't. Oh. These do not look like, let's say, E6 ports. No, I guess they are. We just have little plastic caps instead of metal ones like the other. It's much bigger. Alright, false alarm. Let's put that back on. So I suspect these aren't going to quite fit in the over here, but we'll find out here. How you doing, Riggies? So, this is going to be, yeah, it's close, but it's going to need a little, probably about 1/8 of an inch cut, and that one fits just fine. That one actually needs a little bit of a shim to keep it from wobbling. No problem on this though. I'll probably just run this through the bandsaw. And I have to finagle it in here. And I'm not going too precise on the cut. I'm just going to basically cut right up to the weld, which should be enough space for me. We'll see. It's a little bit awkward. Okay, so the rest there. Took the grease fitting out, obviously. Right there. Alright, that's nice and tight. So, let's see how this works here. The first weld's kind of angling on it, so let's go slow on this part. That'll work. And I just gotta wait. Okay, first one is done. Let's take a look. Oh, nice and clean. Just a couple burrs there. It's kind kind of straight. Kind of angles out a little bit, but that should be fine. So we'll try this side now. The port kind of causes problems with it sitting all the way down, but it can sit it up on the vise and have it sitting on the top of the tube here. So this might actually work really well since it's nice and supported. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and see if I can just cut this. This like it's about a 1/16 off without it deflecting. I probably don't want to use too much weight on the thing here. Oh, this isn't quite straight here, so let me straighten this out. There we go. That didn't help at all, actually, did it? Okay, I'm going to have to hold this up. All right, here we go. All right, well, we got both cylinders in. So I think the biggest concern here is the spacing between the rod and these top and bottom. But I think there's enough space there. We'll see. These don't jiggle too much. They jiggle about that much. So should be fine. And I don't even think, once it goes in all the way, I don't think this is about as far in as, well, no, it's going to come back more. I guess we'll just kind of see what it does. These things swivel when it goes left and right. So over here, this one's also in. The clearance here is even a little bit less, but it's right over the swivel point. So I don't think, there's probably about a 1/16 of an inch clearance there. If it does become a problem, I guess I'll just kind of have to see what happens. When I first start this thing up, I'll do it slowly and just kind of see what's happening with these things. If it is a problem, I'm going to have to cut it down even a little bit more and then shim it to raise it up a little bit, so it doesn't hit and scrape up that cylinder rod. And then inside here, I haven't hooked up the hoses yet, but there's that one, and there's that's for the other one. And then let me put the light over there. And then I'll run a hose from here over to here. I ordered like a 32-inch hose for that. I guess I don't need that much. I was just kind of eyeballing it. So anyway, so that's the new cylinders in. There's 3 of those. So just waiting for the other cylinders, and then this thing is going to be done. About time.